Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's the
Just
recorder on?
I did.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the Thursday night Zoom Course of Miracles.
Mhm.
Our apology for our time conflict last week. I tried I tried to do both at the same time, and it just wasn't going to work. I would have had to bilocate. So it was an important meeting at my alumni, my high school alumni. So I guess I decided that I couldn't move it, obviously. So, but our apologies. We're back tonight. And tonight we are in chapter 2. We've moved on to chapter 1,
Fine.
and we're in the illusion of separation.
Mm.
And we're going to read part 5 tonight, the correction for lack of love. Anybody?
Well,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Paragraph
tell you that,
93.
paragraphs 93 through 105.
I'm
No,
sorry, I'm not gonna
no,
read, I'm just gonna listen.
Oh, okay, Ida.
okay,
Okay,
all right.
Okay.
No lack of love on this call.
No.
We all love each other,
Right. And
and we don't believe in the separation. So
as much
this
as
will be an easy peasy one tonight, right?
love as much as we can.
As much as we can,
Or
because
maybe not.
that's all God ever asks us to do,
Mhm.
is love everybody.
Okay. So,
So if you would like to read tonight, I will write them down and or raise your hand
yeah.
or squeal or make some sort of an adjustment. Eric, hey. So if you'd like to read, so if you'd like to read tonight, go ahead and raise your hand or whatever, and Joy will read them off to me.
Everybody, Eric Ellison used to comes when he can, and he's in Omaha. He's
Yeah.
in Omaha. And actually, Ida, who has been on the court, and Charles, who has been in on the morning calls, Eric has been on the morning text call in the past, the conference call. Remember his, but when he speaks, you might know, because the call is just phone. So you just hear. And Charles, you want to read, hon, right? Charles wants to read. Yep, put Charles down. What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just
Okay, and then
waiting here with
and then
bated breath.
who else? Who else wants to? Who do you got down?
Charles.
Oh, we have.
Wow. 1 week gone and we can.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Eric, are you going to read on? You're on mute. I can't hear you.
He doesn't have.
If you would want me to read, if you need me, I'll be happy to.
Yes,
All right,
we
we'll put you at the bottom. Anybody else? Anybody?
Reverend Jerry?
You betcha.
Hello. Yeah, I got to go grab the book. I'm sorry. And it'll take me a minute, but I'll be back and I'll read.
I'll
Okay,
write
good.
you on there.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay,
and
we
then-
got you got Eric and Reverend
Paula.
Jerry
Paula.
and Paula. Oh yeah, definitely Paula.
Yep.
You got Charles, Paula, and Eric. So it goes Charles, Paula, Reverend Jerry, and Eric. Okay, so right now, and then
I just said, and Bridget's listening. and
yeah,
Jerry.
okay. And then if anyone else
And
comes
then
on, they might join the
you,
list.
You
Of course, Chris and I will be on the list at the bottom.
and he.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. We have a program announcement, and then after that, we will do the meditation. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, what we did, well, you have to love new things and you have to love change, right? Or you're screwed. So I love new things and I love change. After I get over it, I may have a tizzy, but then I realize.
She keeps one husband, but she doesn't change husbands.
Same thing.
Same name.
But anyway, what I'm saying is that constant contact, we send out the daily lessons twice a day. And they had this program that's a texting program where people can join a text list, and we can send texts to your mobile phone from Constant Contact. And the number that comes in is just the number they assign to it. It's Sims. I mean, it's not our number. They assign Sims a number. But you'll get once you sign up, you'll get a message and it says, those messages, type yes if you want to join and stop if you don't want to. And once you type yes, you'll be on I haven't sent any out yet, I don't think.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we're just gathering people who want to receive text messages. Well, what will happen is we have a Zoom update email list, and I will be able to look on that list. When I open up your email, it shows your whole account, shows actually what you've opened, what you haven't opened. We know so much about you. But it'll also say whether you signed up or not. So then I know who to send the text to. Chris has a text he sends on his phone, and what we want to do is migrate off that phone,
Right,
off his phone, because it's a limit of 20 people.
right,
And there's 300 people on the Zoom update list.
right.
More than 20 people probably want to know if we're going to have the meeting or not, or we might also, hi, Janet. Hi, hon. Did you want to read, Janet, by the way? You can't tonight? Okay. Yeah, we were gonna eventually migrate off his phone texting and just was still gonna phone text, but it's gonna come from
Right.
Constant Contact. And it might be, yeah, we're not gonna have the group, but it might also be something else, some announcement, something new, it's
Oh,
just,
oh.
we don't send, I hate getting a lot of texts, don't worry. I mean, before the election, I was bombarded. So anyway, we wanted to put that out. Now your next question is, how do you sign up for well, I did send out an email for the sign up, but
Yeah, I got the email and it said US number only. But I put my number down there anyways.
really,
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll have to check that out.
I'll still put my number down. So
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay.
Good. On
Can't you
our,
just move to like Minnesota or something?
my number's good all over North America, but I live in Canada. What
Down
can
in
I say?
Minneapolis, get a burner phone and go back home.
the thing is, you can sign up, say you got the email and you don't know where it is or whatever. You can sign up on the website, jcim.net. In the menu, I made a thing and it says tech sign up. So click that, it'll take your name, first name, last name, and your mobile number, and you hit submit, and then it will send you a message on your phone, and it'll say, do you want to join? Type yes. It's easy as that. And then you'll be on the list. And then when
Oh,
you need to reach everybody quickly, because we know you're tied, I am tied to my mobile. That's the fastest way to reach me.
I
So,
never got the text. Okay.
but you,
Uh,
the email, we didn't send a text out. I didn't send a text out yet.
oh,
He,
okay. I got one. Okay.
Got what?
A
A
te-
text
A
email.
text. Yeah. To sign up.
That's not Constant Contact. Yeah.
Oh, that was your own. Okay.
Yeah, that's our own. And that's what we're going to move away from, because he can only do 20 people, and more than 20 people want to receive the text.
Well, the constant contact is something that we can schedule. I mean, on Wednesday, you can put it all in there, and then we don't have to remember on Thursday, something like that. And we can have more than 20, so we can send, I've got 19 or 20 on mine, and I know you send out how many reminders as email,
300.
right? So we could decide whether or not we want to do emails and text, or drop
I
the
put the
email.
email because it's got the study guide on it. It's got the
Oh,
link.
that's right. That's
The
right.
link, on
No,
how to-
yeah,
how to
it's got
join.
more than just, hey, we're gonna
It's
be
got a lot of
meeting
information.
tonight. So,
Okay.
all right,
All right.
enough
Okay,
said.
so-
All right, meditate,
Yep.
meditate, dance to the music.
It's so,
Oh, that's
so wonderful to have you all here tonight. I really need it. I'll tell you what. And I had an idea about a couple of minutes ago. Everything that I read in the lesson in the text, I am applying it to what I'm going through personally right now with this whole world thing. It's a world thing, not just the United States. And so I need constant guidance, and it's helping already. So of course, I mean, that's why we're doing the course. So it helps us with what we're doing here, right? So so I put it out there, we'll see how that goes, maybe. But okay, so to begin with, we'll just close our eyes if you feel comfortable in doing that, and we'll also let's see, we'll just go on mute, because we're gonna be quiet. We're gonna meditate. We wouldn't want to be startled by any errant sounds. So as we close our eyes, we feel that we're beginning to relax just by closing our eyes. It does change the brainwave patterns. You might be able to sense that just by closing your eyes. A lot happens. And so we take in that new space of going within and how that feels. It's a being with, it's a presence. It's not being with the external stimuli. It's being with our peace, our sense of being, our love. And we join one another there. Minds are joined. There is no separation. And we begin to relax the body as we do this. We might have, most likely we do have a lot of stress these days. It tightens up our muscles, pulls on our spine. It's not good. It sends hormones and chemicals out throughout the body. Stress is not good for the body, needless to say. So right now we're going to do something good for the body. We'll just relax it. And when you relax, your body will respond with what it needs to maintain that peace. This week, I came up with the idea of feeling the warmth of love, feeling the warmth of love's embrace. And I did feel warm and I did feel embraced. And I put myself in a room, a white room, and it was just pure white and just pure love. A love that could not even be imagined. It was limitless. And I thought, why not? Why not open up to the reality of love? I don't need to wait until I leave my body to re-experience the reality of love. I can do it right now, right here. And it can be healing. So I do that now. I feel the embrace of love. And the non-judgment, the acceptance. I'm completely accepted just the way I am. There's no judgment, none. And it feels so good. I am irreplaceable in the mind of God. I am his offspring, his creation. Mother, Father, God. And so our bodies continue to relax. We are present, awake and aware, feeling the connection with one another. And from that connection, we'll open up to our lesson today. The lesson is, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. Interesting. So in that lesson, it says, if the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here, you are changing the cause. The effects will change automatically. I can escape the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. So we're going to go into 2 minutes of silence. We can visit with the lesson or whatever, however you want to spend those 2 minutes. And I will remember to time us and I'll bring us out when 2 minutes is over. And we'll begin now. I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts. We'll open our eyes when we're ready. Ready, Magdalena?
Yeah. Okay, we're in chapter 2, the illusion of separation. We're going to read part 5, and we're start in the middle of part 5, the correction for lack of love. We're going to start at paragraph 93. Before we start, I'd like to read the first paragraph from this part, just so that we can set the tone for what we're going to be reading as we jump into the middle. So, the correction for lack of love. The first corrective step is to know first that this is an expression of fear. Then say to yourself that you must somehow have willed not to love, or that the fear which arises from behavior will conflict could not have arisen. Then the whole process is nothing more than a series of pragmatic steps in the larger process of accepting the atonement as the remedy. These steps can be summarized as follows. Number 1, know first that this is fear. Number 2, fear arises from lack of love. Number 3, the only remedy for lack of love is perfect love. And number 4, perfect love is the atonement. In getting ready tonight, I just happened to read that and think that it would have been, yesterday we would have started on the first paragraph, and today we're jumping into paragraph 93. So, paragraph 93. Charles, can you start us off? It's you who constantly complain.
No.
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 You who constantly complain about fear still persist in creating it. I told you before that you cannot ask me to release you from fear because I know it does not exist. But you do not. If I merely intervened between your thoughts and their results, I would be tampering with a basic law of cause and effect, the most fundamental law there is in this world. I would hardly help if I depreciated the power of your own thinking. This would be direct opposition to the purpose of this course. It is much more helpful to remind you that you do not guard your thoughts carefully, except for a small part of the day, and somewhat inconsistently even then. You may feel at this point that it would be a miracle to enable you to do this, which is perfectly true. He was having quite the conversation with our beloved brothers and sister who wrote this. I'm sure doing the lessons really helps with the guardian of the mind, and I imagine when they were writing this down, that was sort of new to them, and they were sort of new to all this concept of guarding one's mind. From what I'm reading on the paragraph here anyways, and I know myself, I do a lot of mind wandering, and really the only time I really get to focus is when I start to apply my lessons or the various different phrases I use to help me focus. And training the mind is a lot different than mind wandering for me. And so I can appreciate what Jesus is sharing here about the idea of training the mind on a particular way of seeing, or asking to be shown, I should say, not seeing, but asking to be shown. Because he can't interfere, and I like that when he says he can't interfere with our process. That would depreciate the power of our own thinking in us. For that would take away our power, and then we rely only on his decisions. But he wants us to realize that our decisions are the making of this world. And we can decide otherwise. So he wants to show us the power of our decision. And I can appreciate that part of the paragraph. And the basic law of creation is in the mind, for the mind creates. Thank you. That's what I got out of the first paragraph. I'm complete.
Nice, thank you.
Excellent.
Very nice. I like it. Yeah, it says it'll probably take a miracle, which is no snide remark there.
It would take- This is, yeah,
That's not good.
oh, oh. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I'm just reading a note.
Hi, Barb.
Yeah.
Yes, you snuck in there, Barbara.
Eric, I guess we will investigate that. That's very disheartening.
Oh, good, an image of the notice. Eric was sending us a chat message. He signed up and got a message about phishing, I guess, confirmation text as phishing, tagged it as phishing. And I don't know what your, if I know it's safe, I just say it's not phishing, or I say it's safe. I get those from.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This one, though, was kind of concerning. And you'll see in the images that I sent you, I don't think anything is a foul. I just want you to be aware.
Good, because I can send that to the
Okay.
text,
Absolutely. To constant contact.
definitely.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Great,
it's not
okay.
it's not that Eric said it's okay. The issue,
No, I know.
my concern, is actually tagged in the first place.
I know.
Yeah, so
Oh.
constant contact's got to look.
Well, his virus tagged it, and so constant contact, yeah, they'll look at it, and you'll let us know what virus
Virus.
Oh,
program.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll include that.
Oh, all right.
But I have no doubts about the safety of it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just, other people might see it and kind of wonder, what are you two up to?
Hmm.
All right. We know how now you guys can be. We can start conspiracy theories
Right.
like that nowadays.
We'll only ask for your social security number and your banking account number. Those are the only two we ask for.
That's right. And one security question is always good to know the answer to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Actually, Eric, I've been wondering for a long time what those two are up to.
Oh, yeah. They've always struck me as nefarious, Barbara.
And you say something's too good to be true, right?
There you go. Absolutely, Charles.
That's what we're at. Yeah, don't pay attention to the people behind the screen here. We're just on the levers. That's all we're doing.
Just disregard everything you've read about the Matrix.
Oh yeah. Zeros and ones, zeros and ones. That's what I hey, zeros.
That's what you live in.
That's me.
I have to say something about this paragraph, the first paragraph, because what I realized I have experienced more stress in the last week than I have in like years. And it's like, I'm shocking myself. When you do something and it's not in line with your self-image, it really screws around with your self-image. And you go, wait a minute, that's not who I thought I was. And I realized that it was my thoughts that I was giving, I give everything all the meaning that it has. And I was doing it to myself. Some of the things, how many little things I blow
Yeah.
up as if it's the end of the world.
I was her lifeline. What would you do if I wasn't here
Yeah,
to throw you a rope?
yeah, I don't know.
I didn't take offense, not
Yeah,
once.
yeah. I mean, I can't even think of the little things. Well, one is that we had this dispute, and I just realized that I thought it was solved, and I thought we had our money, and we didn't have our money, and it's not solved, and things like that, and or things not working, and I have to go and call customer service and get them to work, that kind of thing, and they're small, but I blew them out. So look at this paragraph. So the thing is, I create the world that I see. I make the world that I see and then react from it, right? That's what the course keeps telling us.
Yeah.
And so I know there's another, and I know there's another way of reacting. And what came to me was at the end of the course where he said, choose once again. And it sounds real simple, but man, it's all about choosing again. I can in any and every moment that I'm in distress, I can say, I guess it's fear. And it's just pure and simple fear, pure and simple fear. And when I shift to knowing that it's all right. Everything is all right. Everything's going to be all right. I'm all right. You're all right. We're all
You
right.
did a good job creating me.
I sure did.
So there you go. You got one thing done, right?
I thought you were still a work in progress.
That is also true. I talked to my therapist. He always says, "Oh, you need to come back next week. Oh man, you're in bad shape. $100."
$100 and we'll fix you up, Chris.
But no, right out of the blue, though, we got an email from USAA saying that okay, the accident like 7, 8, 9, 10 months ago has been settled, and here's your deductible back. So
Because it wasn't his fault.
it wasn't my fault.
So when it's not your fault, you get your deductible back. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, we had no clue. I mean, we didn't.
I didn't even know we paid it.
Yeah,
So
you did. It said on the claim minus the
all
deductible.
right. Okay.
Remember?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we have, surprises,
I mean,
wonderful surprises,
I
little
mean, it
surprises.
was nice to see like $500 come into your checking
Yeah,
account. I
just-
mean, duh.
Boing, boing. Okay.
All right. Anybody else on 93? Okay. Paragraph 94 starts with men are not used to miracle. Oh, boy.
Well, men and women.
Paula, would you like to read that? Paragraph 94, men are not used to miraculous thinking.
Men are not used to miraculous thinking, but they can be trained to think that way. All miracle workers need that kind of training. I cannot let them leave their minds unguarded, or they will not be able to help me. Miracle working entails a full realization of the power of thought and real avoidance of miscreation. Otherwise, a miracle will be necessary to set the mind itself straight. A circular process which would hardly foster the time collapse for which the miracle was intended, nor would it induce the healthy respect for true cause and effect which every miracle worker must have. I cannot let them leave their minds unguarded, or they will not be able to help me. Yeah, that's a real challenge. I think it's a real challenge to be guarded all the time.
What do you mean by guarded?
It's that willingness to just not judge. Because judgment is the only problem we really have. I was with a group of friends today, and when I walked in that room, I like them. I like them all. And I just decided whatever happens here happens, and I'm not going to change my mind about them. But that's not always the case, you know.
Do you catch yourself being judgmental? And when you do, what do you tend to do?
Try to turn it over. I if I can be conscious enough, I try to hand it over to the Holy Spirit and just I don't know. I always have to go back to I don't know, because I don't. I really don't.
I think that's a good way to do it. Sometimes we miss it,
Yeah.
but
But you know what? You never get it done, and you can't get it wrong. You really can't get it wrong, because you can always, in all situations, turn to the Holy Spirit, and things always work out.
as
When
hard
I
as
do
it
that.
is, you can always change your mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You always know you don't know.
Hmm.
Always know that you don't know.
Unless you forget that you don't know and think you know.
Yeah, and really, he says you would, in order to judge, you would really have to know every aspect of every situation that is compiled in your judgment. And nobody can do that.
Right.
Spot on.
When somebody cuts me off in traffic, I'm trying to visualize that they just heard from their mother that their father had a heart attack and they're racing to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I mean, when somebody cuts you off, they don't, unless you do road rage or something, they don't know that they cut you off. They keep going.
Well,
So
yeah.
I've been trying to work on my traffic behavior, basically. Since I've got the new truck, I decided I was going to.
I actually had something like that happen today, where I'm just heading down 18th Avenue, and all of a sudden this truck, he did not see me, and he just pulled right out. And at first I was like so rattled by it, and I thought, I've done that. I have done that. I always feel terrible about it when I do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm in stealth mode, so they can't hear me. So I've already had 2 or 3 people just pull over not knowing I was there. So
He's got an he's got an electric
Electric
truck. He's
truck.
got an EV. They're silent. So
yeah.
spooky.
Okay, Paula, are you
I'm complete.
okay?
Thank
All right.
you. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, Barb. Once again, take us save our souls.
You silly man. Just as we don't know enough to judge, I am not high enough to be able to save your soul, dear person. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that there's one sentence in this paragraph that seems to me to be the key to the whole. And that's the one that says, miracle working entails a full realization of the power of thought and a real avoidance of miscreation. So regardless of what you're heading into, you have to be aware that your thought is what colors the situation in any particular direction. And you also have to be aware that it is a choice not to miscreate, but to add love, which is always appropriate in every situation. So just keep those two things in mind. You know, your thought is powerful, and you always can avoid miscreation by adding love. Thank you. I'm complete.
Excellent. That's
Yep.
excellent. Very
Perfect.
nice. So, judgment would create miscreation.
Oh yeah.
If I judge something and then react to that judgment, I would
Absolutely.
miscreate. Okay, yeah, very nice.
Any judgment.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Charles.
Just reminds me that Barbara was sharing that about the power of a thought. when you think of Martin Luther King, I know I have a dream, right? And how that little phrase united a lot of people,
Mhm.
you know, and brought them together as a shared dream. It was a dream that became a shared dream. And his words resonated with the hearts of many people. And it sort of gave to me like a wake up call of that we are in a dream. And as in the dream, we have a choice of how we interact with one another. And he gave us a beautiful way of choosing. So I thought I'd share that as the power of a thought would be.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paula, go ahead.
Mhm.
Just, well, what Charles was just, I just finished reading Martin Luther King's autobiography.
Well,
It was compiled, it's all of his writings compiled in this book. It is the most powerful book I think I have ever read.
Mm.
And it's so current. Everything he's talking about in that book is perfect for today, for right now. I'm actually going to purchase I got the book at the library. I'm going to purchase it and I'm going to highlight so much of what he said. It's just really beautiful. So I just wanted to say that.
What's it called?
The autobiography of Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, okay, great.
so that's
Wait a minute, Paula. We're not supposed to highlight library books?
No, I said I'm going to purchase
Oh.
the book.
I didn't know that.
I was tempted. I actually took pictures of some of the pages. That really,
Oh, I've done that.
Ooh.
and I
Yeah.
thought, let me just buy the damn book and highlight whatever, and I can go back and refer to it.
put tabs in there and all that stuff. But, no, wait a minute. You can highlight a library book. You just have to erase it before you hit.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Oh, that's why you can't highlight
Yeah,
a
exactly.
library book.
Yeah, you can photocopy it. That's why they have photocopiers in libraries.
Right.
And
Then you're going to highlight the photocopy.
I just took pictures with my phone.
Yeah.
Paula, do
I just want to have that book on my shelf. I really love it.
you use Kindle at all ever? Kindle?
Or audio books or
No, Kindle.
Kindle.
No, because Kindle you can highlight, and then what I do is I highlight first because I want to remember, because it stays there. It's like you can pick a color, and then the same area that I highlighted, I can copy and put in a note, and then I can share that note on social media or print it or something. It's really and lets you format it and everything. There's so much you can do with that.
You can also, it'll collect all of your highlighted sentences and like whatever you highlight. And if you click a little button in the corner, it'll present them all in the order that they were highlighted, so you can use it for a quick reference if you're going back to look for a particular note.
Oh, that I didn't know that.
That's a
Beautiful,
neat
eh?
feature.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So you're making your own cliff notes, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I-
Or
I-
made up of what really stood out for
Yeah.
you. That's
Your
cool.
own study guide, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's nice that they put all those together, but it's not exactly an autobiography if that's just a compile of letters, but still,
Well, you're
I mean, I'm sitting here with somebody that was there
where?
at the I Dream speech.
No.
You were there, you weren't there, but you were there. You were in the vicinity.
No.
Oh, I'm in
Oops.
big trouble.
Big trouble. I marched on Washington when we closed it, when we invaded Laos, I think it was, and we wanted to stop the war. And remember back in the 60s, and I went and marched on the Capitol, but I wasn't there.
So are there any wants and warrants after you're arrested?
Probably.
Maybe? Is there like a bounty maybe? I could, because,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I could use a new vet. Wow, boy, have we gotten a lot done tonight? All right, Reverend Jerry, paragraph 95 starts with miracles cannot free the miracle worker. Oh, boy.
Uh, I don't see that.
Are you using the fifth book or our book?
And mine says both miracles and fear
Okay,
come
start,
from
Yeah.
thoughts.
start there.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Both miracles and fear come from thoughts. And if you were not free to choose one, you would also not be free to choose the other. By choosing the miracle, you have rejected fear. You have been afraid of God, of me, of yourselves, and of practically everyone you know at one time or another. This is because you have misperceived or miscreated us and believe in what you have made. You would never have done this if you were not afraid of your own thoughts. The vulnerable are essentially miscreators because they misperceive creation. Okay. There is only one choice. Well, there's two choices, fear or love. And as the decider, I get in my mind to choose one, the ego or fear, or two, the Holy Spirit or love. The decision to choose wrongly a thought system based in fear is choosing nothing. It winds up as a made up dream in a state of sleepfulness and dissociation from God. So Jeshua is really saying here that the default choice that was made at the time of the tiny mad idea that we forgot to laugh at really has carried through in my mind as the only choice. I wasn't aware of the choice for the Holy Spirit and for love. And so everything I perceived was steeped in separation, sin, guilt, and fear. And, this is what resulted in the world and the body. Well, not to take it any further than that, I think that's what he's, you know, laying out. You bought the farm, so to speak, and everything on the farm that you bought is an illusion. Friends, lovers, no matter whom you've encountered, it's been based in an ego thought of giving uh, to take, because there's an initial underlying thought that they stole the peace of God from me. This is the original attack thought, and it's projected, and what projects you perceive. So that's, the numbers you're quoting, and maybe it's my book, they're different. This is paragraph 94 that I'm reading in
Okay.
my book.
Yeah.
We
That
did a change in paragraphs at one point, so
they
unfortunately.
did? Okay. I have the enhanced original edition text, pocket edition. Okay.
What's the date? Well, the date of the publication might have been, we're
Yeah, whatever.
gonna update those too. Yeah, there was a, paragraph change because we inserted some material that wasn't there and it changed the paragraphs. I think on second thought, Tom, I wasn't part of that. But on second thought, Tom realized that, oops, and
Right.
changed the paragraph numbers.
That
Right.
I try to use. That's why I say the number and the first sentence of the
And
paragraph.
the first sentence. But you quoted a first sentence that I don't even have.
Yeah, that's another update.
Ours is in on my paragraph. That's in parentheses.
Because it's added,
Oh,
we
Yes.
add things
okay.
Yeah.
over the years.
Well, okay. So anyway, back to the content. What Jeshua is telling us is this is a course in cause, not effect. And if you want my help, don't ask me to help with the effect because I don't believe that it's true. In other words, I'm not going to enter into a insane dream. I'll only help you at the level of cause where there is a possibility of choosing again rightly with the Holy Spirit, with whom he's in alignment with. And if some of you may remember, this is anecdotal, but Helen used to always ask Jeshua, I want this and such change because it scares me. And he would say to her, I can't help you. You're looking at something that I have no power over. It's a function of your thought. And you're going to have to be willing to change your thinking and align with me. And then you'll find that there is a possibility, a strong possibility that you'll know peace. But you have to align with cause and love, which is, the underlying idea here of the atonement and love. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Reverend Jerry. Charles, go ahead.
Thanks, Reverend Jerry. I'm just reminded from earlier on today when Reverend when Reverend Pamela was saying in the morning, love without opposite. And it sort of struck me to the core that I'm not aware of thinking that I have that resembles love without opposite. And I come to realize anytime I agree with somebody or make an agreement or stuff like that, it's usually out of something that out of a good feeling I have. But it's never from a love without opposite. And I'm realizing now when grandchildren or children, to me, that's a love without opposite because it doesn't come with any tags on it. It's just a pure, pure love. There is no opposite to it. And so it just sort of woke my eyes up to the idea that a lot of decisions I do so out of a make-up belief system that it's something I feel is good for me to decide for. But then again, I'm not deciding for a miracle. And so it helps me understand, in order for me to guard against my thinking, I need to really ask to see my decisions in the light of a miracle rather than in trying to, how would you say, believe in something, sell an idea, sell a belief, to believe in somebody, to believe in something. So I thought I'd share that because, when it comes to the power of the thought and our miscreations, do we really know when we are miscreating? Do we know when we really are making things up? Or do we really know when it's love without opposite? So that got me to question. And so I appreciate that from this morning. And I really don't know sometimes when I'm miscreating. Because when I feel like I'm agreeable with somebody, it's still still not a knowing that's beyond. That is without doubt. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. See, there's the doubt right there.
Oh,
Anyways, I'm complete. Thank you.
thank you. I guess I never when I'm reading miscreation, I'm always thinking we would know. But so now, once again, we know we don't know.
Yeah, the Course of Miracles to me is coming to be aware of all our miscreations. Because unless we know what to offer the Holy Spirit for correction, we'll keep making the same decisions over and over again.
Okay.
When we were aware of the decisions we're making are miscreating, then we can ask for a miracle. Because my belief in my miscreation is holding it in me as something that I keep repeating.
All right.
Because I value I value what I made up.
All right. So
Belief means I value what I made up.
So in the earlier paragraphs, it said that if you miscreate and then you believe in your creation, your miscreation, then that would be something that, if I'm using judgment to miscreate and then I believe in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's right.
Thank you, Charles. Reverend Jerry, go ahead.
That hits the nail on the head. That for me is the fundamental error, level confusion. And the ego, which I'm so dedicated and invested in, as you said, I've made it up. And I want the configurations in the dream to change. I want the script in the dream to change so I'll know peace.
Hmm.
And Jesus is saying this is not a course in effect, it's a course in cause. You're looking in the wrong end of the telescope. And again, making the error real is the worst thing that a Course in Miracles student, such as me, can do, making the error real. And then going to the Holy Spirit or Jeshua and saying, they're the problem. Please change them. Get them to stop drinking, philandering, stealing, insulting, whatever it is that, fill in the blank, and I have a grievance about. And the ego says, but that's common sense. Of course you're upset when they're philandering or stealing and cheating. And I've, lived many, many linear dream incarnations with that premise. Okay, now Jesus is saying, here's another wisdom pearl that you need to practice so that you become more proactively aware of it, or at least quicker when you do make the error, in the levels, and you make the error real. I don't know if that, I had a situation today. I had a fellow sit down next to me at lunch. I was in a group meeting at lunch. And without going into too much detail, because it's embarrassing for me, but a lot of fear came up for me about him sitting next to me. And I remember when I was in elementary school, I had a similar situation. This is not new, of course, to me. There was a kid in one of my classes, and he had a scalp disease called ringworm, and he came to school with his head shaved. And I was so afraid every day that I would be near him or catch it and somehow be infected. And now I'm 82 years old. So what is that? Some 75 years ago. And that it just goes to show me that I'm still apt to level confusion. So and so sitting next to me, this causes my fear. No, it doesn't. The cause is within me, and it's still a aspect of my guilt and sin. And guilt and sin look for punishment. And so I'm somehow going to contract the disease that this guy sitting next to me is obviously carrying. It's hell.
Hmm.
However, and this is all, yeah. However, Jesus says, I'm here, I'm your elder brother, I'll help you. But don't make it their problem and say, behold me, brother, at your hand, I die.
Hmm.
You're not going to die at their hand. I still think I am.
Wow.
Mhm.
Thanks, Reverend Jerry.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Reverend Jerry.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Um, Eric, do you have your book?
I am primed and ready to go.
Can you read paragraph 96?
Sure.
Starts with you persist in believing.
What a coincidence. So does mine. We're on track. You persist in believing that when you do not consciously watch your mind, it is unmindful. It is time, however, to consider the whole world of the unconscious or unwatched mind. This may well frighten you because it is the source of fear. The unwatched mind is responsible for the whole content of the unconscious, which lies above the miracle level. All psychoanalytic theorists have made some contribution in this connection, but none of them has seen it in its true entirety. They have all made one common error in that they attempted to uncover unconscious content. You cannot understand unconscious activity in these terms because content is applicable only to the more superficial unconscious levels to which the individual himself contributes. This is the level at which you can really readily introduce fear, and usually does. I'm going to take an angle that Barbara took, and that the key phrase for me in this one is the unwatched mind is responsible for the whole content of the unconscious, which lies above the miracle level. One of the things that I've certainly, the course has taught me, and I think I'm in my 7th year of studying the course and really trying to apply it. You know, like Paula, I have good days and bad days. But one thing that I have become, I think, better at is being mindful of my thoughts, even when I might be doing something that is maybe rote and kind of automatic. But when I catch a thought that that I recognize as being a thought that causes me, say, a sense of distress or as being judgmental, I try to stop it. There was another teacher online of this course, and she used to say she would be eagle-eyed with her thoughts to kind of do a constant monitoring or just and try to stay in awareness, because those idle thoughts can take us down a rat hole really quick. And with everything that's going on nowadays around the world, it's really easy to kind of get swept up, and in two ways. Those idle thoughts or that unconscious mind can make the world seem so overwhelming that we don't know how to respond. But I know the course teaches me that it's my choice how I respond. And so, like today's text, you know, I can escape the world I see by removing attack thoughts. I really, I have a hard time sitting around in a meditation and thinking the attack thoughts. So what I do is I turn to our local PBS station, and in the afternoons we have 4 different news broadcasts: one from Germany, one from the BBC, one from France, and one from Japan. And I let them bring the news to me, and I look at their news, and I try to transcend that. I will not be judgmental of those situations. I regret them, and it's horrific, and things need to be done. However, I feel like the best that I can do is to be the best person that I can be, so that I can reflect that for others who maybe are mired in their attack thoughts, and perhaps we catch them off guard a little bit, only by leaving them wondering, well, how can he be peaceful in this? It might, maybe, Reverend Jerry, it might be the height of egotism, but I really try to I really try to avoid the judgment. I try to look beyond that. Let's look at the causes, let's not look at the effects. And in my own place, in my own way, locally, I try to be the person that avoids exactly what we're talking about, by whether I'm working with immigrants or doing my hospice work, whatever the case may be. It's don't get bogged down in how I feel, but turn it over to the Holy Spirit and be mindful that the judgment is a killer. And most idle thoughts, I think, tend towards the judgment, because we're always thinking about the past. We're thinking about the kid with the ringworm. I'm thinking about the kid I used to play with. His nickname was Stinky, and there was a reason for it.
Yeah.
But I am committed to watching my thoughts, and it really has made a difference in my life. I'm complete.
Excellent. Thanks, Eric.
Mm.
Yeah, your judgment can only come from past experiences. Why
Yeah.
why else would I judge that as something fear if I hadn't experienced it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago?
I guess so, because the child comes in sort of like, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
just sort of,
Yeah.
Well, there's a passage in the book that speaks to, can you see each person that you interact with that you've known? Can you see them fresh and new in the next interaction? I think it's chapter 31,
Cool.
which is my favorite chapter, even though it's the end of the
I've
book. But
I've always thought that we're born with love and we learn to hate.
Mm.
I
Because
think that's probably a very insightful statement, Chris. Where did,
I think if you talk to a
Troy give that to you?
3-year-old or a 5-year-old, I don't think you'll never see hate come out of their mouth, but they're always loving, almost to a level of unconditional. Well,
That's a large part of it has to be how they are conditioned as well, sadly.
it's true.
I've seen some sad cases.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
Reverend Jerry, go ahead.
Thanks, sir.
Well, I really appreciate the conversation and the direction that it's going. This is the first paragraph I've seen where Jeshua goes into the psychological and psychoanalytical realms, which, of course, Helen was a professional in as a psychologist, and he said to her, "This is what I've read." He said to her, "You're much too tolerant of mind wandering." And that's what I identify as a problem for myself. And it's again what Chris said. It goes right back to my past. I'm seeing this mature man next to me as the kid in the fourth grade that I was terrified sitting next to. It was the past immediately brought up for me, and I was not I was very tolerant of mind wandering. And it goes even deeper, I think, and this may be what Jeshua was saying. Most psychologists didn't go into an aspect of it, and that's the attack. I'm not afraid and defensive. I'm attacking in my mind in a way that is completely offensive, not defensive, because I believe so greatly in my vulnerability as a body. And if I were able, if I am able to remember at some juncture, I'm not a body, I'm not vulnerable. This is a dream. Nothing that, and you don't want to be stupid about it either and step in front of a bus. But on the other hand, my whole lunch was ruined just thinking about this guy next to me. Oh, I'll tell you, this is a one. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right.
Oh,
Thanks, Reverend
Thank
Jerry.
you.
All right, Charles, go ahead. You're on mute.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure that what I don't know what I'm going to make sure of. Anyways,
That's perfect.
but what I do know is that when Eric was talking about watching the news, one of my favorite pastimes is watching bloggers. And a lot of bloggers do news on the local issues, government, local happenings. And I'm really aware when the Course of Miracle comes along of mind wandering, when all of a sudden I start agreeing or disagreeing with whatever they're saying, my mind's shoo, gone. And I start to realize, whoa, I catch myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I feel good that I caught myself
Hmm.
because as soon as I take sides, either way, then my mind is like a wild stallion and finds all these different reasons for that to justify my decisions to agree or disagree. And I realized that, oh wow, the mind's really loves to make things up in order to feel good about its decisions. You know, so that's my little exercise as far as being aware while I am listening to various other people's shares of how they interact with the world, people around them. I don't really feel that I could sit in a bubble and shut out the world
Hmm.
and not interact with other people. And I really believe the Course wants us to practice, I believe the Course wants me to practice in ways that I can be aware of how I interpret everything in my life, because it's my interpretation that creates my fantasies, right? And the Holy Spirit reinterprets it and gives me its experience. But unless I'm willing to offer up my interpretation, because once I'm convinced my interpretation is justified, I'm not going to offer it up because my mind's going to take it down the road and run with it for a while
Wow.
before I decide to let it go. But thank you, Eric, for bringing that to my mind because,
Thanks. Thanks.
you know, it really helps me.
One thing I wanted to add, and it relates to Paula and a statement she made. She walked into a room of friends or acquaintances and she decided that she was going to love them and have a great time. So in essence, she was inviting the Holy Spirit to be with her. I generally go into my luncheon meetings completely forgetting that I could go with Jeshua into those rooms and a lot of fear. Who's going to like me? Who's not going to? And then I'm setting up all of it based on vulnerability and ego. So, kudos to Paula for giving an example. I want to remember wherever I go and whatever room I enter, Jeshua is walking there with me, and I will defer to his vision rather than my egoic sight, because that is too much of a default. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Hey, we needed
Thank
we
you for
needed
that.
to report back next week if anything happens this week. Okay.
That's my co-pilot up there.
Yeah. I noticed when Charles told me that's his co-pilot, I go, if you look at it, it looks like he's speed reading. And
Yeah.
pages are flying. And I can't I'm still on page 2. Okay, Paula, Paula, you share, and then Barbara, can you and then when you share, can you read 97 to close this out? Okay.
Folks, I apologize. I need to drop.
Oh, you
I,
never,
I'm getting messages. Somebody needs my attention, but it's good to see everybody.
Absolutely
Thank
fine,
you.
Eric.
Thank you so
You can
much.
always come late and leave early.
Oh no.
God bless you
Whatever.
and stay safe. We'll
I'll,
talk.
we'll stay in touch.
All right.
I hope to see you next week. Bye bye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye-bye, Eric. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Paula.
I'll just make this quick. I have a picture of Jesus. This is how I'm remembering to set these intentions when I go in when I'm out in the world. I talk to him. I have a picture of him. These eyes are just beautiful. I look into his eyes. I take all my problems to him. He said, "Cast all your cares upon me because I care for you." So I said, Jesus, I hope you're ready for this because this is what I do now. And so that's one that's one really good way of talking to him, literally talking to him, to take him with you wherever you go. You can't go wrong with him by your side.
Oh,
That's
thank
cool.
you.
That's
Thank
cool.
you. That's-
Do you ever notice that the eyes follow you as you walk past? I had one time, and I don't know if it was an optical illusion or it was deliberately painted that way or whatever, but
I'll be
but
watching you.
look at him out of the corner of my eye, and as I was walking by, I could swear those eyes were just going here.
Yeah, great.
Okay, Barbara, give us your share and read 97. Starts with when man miscreates, he is in pain.
Well, my share is just very quickly, and Paula, it's putting your pattern in different words. But Marianne Williamson always invites you to flood the room with love before you enter it.
Cool.
And so just remembering that, flood the room with love before you enter it.
Wow. So
And that's the same thing as talking to Jesus, but it was just helpful for me to hear her say it that way. And so that's making a decision before you walk through the door, and it's a decision for love. And so, yeah. So I'm on 97.
7.
When man miscreates, he is in pain. That goes back to the statement in the book over and over again. Anything that is not love is a cry for love. So this is saying it in the same way. When man miscreates, he is in pain. The cause and effect principle here is temporarily a real expediter. Actually, cause is a term properly belonging to God, and effect, which should also be capitalized, is his son. This entails a set of cause and effect relationships, which are totally different from those which man introduced into his own miscreations. The fundamental opponents in the real basic conflict are creation and miscreation. All fear is implicit in the second, just as all love is inherent in the first. Because of this difference, the basic conflict is one between love and fear. This constantly reminds me that this whole world is based on duality, on opposites. And what the Course is teaching us is there are no opposites. There's only one, and that is love. That's why it's so important when you enter the room, flood it with love, because that makes it all real. And if you don't, then you are caught in the duality and you miscreate because you misunderstand the difference between creation and miscreation.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, everybody, for all your shares tonight. Boy, we had some really good conversations. We appreciate you all and love you all. So, are you ready to?
Yeah, and
close
I
with,
just want to ask that Reverend Jerry, do you see the chat messages for this? Can you go into chat at all, Reverend Jerry? Do you know how to do that?
Yes, I mean, I have chat, but I don't know what messages. Is there something like a Facebook?
No. In the Zoom, I put a
right in
message
Zoom.
to you in chat, in the Zoom.
I haven't.
You
Yeah, I
don't,
haven't seen that.
you don't know how to access chats. That's okay. I'll send you an
Oh
email.
no, I'm not sure. I guess I'm not
I'll
sure.
send you an email.
Right.
If you're on your phone, it's hard. Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, not right now.
oh, what are you on, a tablet or?
Tablet. Yeah.
Yeah, the chat's in a different area. I don't know how to get the chat. Okay, but I'll send you an email if you want.
Yeah.
I do. Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do. So we'll just,
Okay.
yep, and, oh, guess what? Oh my God, I just remembered what I had chosen in Barbara, and everyone it's gonna fit totally. Wait do you
No,
see
that
it? Look,
doesn't.
I have it.
That doesn't
I have it,
happen.
little stickies. I don't, I have little stickies. Okay, here it is.
Okay.
We'll close our eyes and we'll feel, close in that connection and union with one another, the communion, I like to say, as we hold hands and we feel our one self that we share with one another. It's that one self that we share with one another and our source. And that's reality. And from that place, we listen to Helen as she has, and even the title, and I didn't notice this before, it's called The Greeting. Here it is. Say, but I love you to all living things, and they will lay their blessing over you to keep you ever safe and ever sure that you belong to God and He to you. What but I love you? Could the greeting be of Christ to Christ, who welcomes but Himself? And what are you except the Son of God, the Christ whom He would welcome to Himself? And so it is.
And so it is.
Got chills. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you.
Beautiful.
Once again, our apologies for our scheduled conflict last week. And once again, if you
But again.
it won't happen again. And if you would like to receive a text from Constant Contact, I think we'll be sending out emails, or you can go to the
Sounds
website and just pull it down and ask. And you can do all the work yourself to get the text.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the idea is for me to get those 20 people to sign up for the Constant Contact text, so that I don't have to do that. It's kind of cumbersome on the phone. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll
Great.
see how it goes. If
Okay.
it's a new system,
oh, yeah,
happy
Well,
to.
thank you. That's great.
happy change. Change is happy. Change is, yeah. And we thank God for our food. Oh, no, that's not right.
Happy
Can I say
trails
something
to
just
you.
and yeah,
Ah,
Barbara was saying something about flooding a room with love,
mhm.
and that is in course parlance exactly what we're supposed to do. Extend the love of Christ and God rather than project the fear from the ego.
Yeah.
She's taught, but Barbara and I forgot who mentioned this to you, Marianne, was it? She's saying extend God's love wherever you are, and that's being a lucid dreamer. Being a sleep dreamer is projection, but I want to shift to extension,
All
and
right.
that's the love of
Extending
God.
love.
Yeah.
We
So just
support you in
imagine as
that.
you walk in the room, you have a fire hose. Those that drown never wanted it in the first place.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
My husband and I are going to have a celebration of love tomorrow. It's our 59th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So
Bless your hearts. Yeah.
we are taking a road trip back to Dubuque, Iowa, to our college where we met, and we're just going to revel in those memories about all the ways love has shaped our lives for 59 years. So
Wow.
I wanted to share that with you all. We're looking forward to it.
Beautiful.
Oh my
Beautiful.
God. Dubuque, that's right on the border with Wisconsin, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yeah. I drove through there many times on the way to Madison when I had a contract up there. So,
Oh, have a wonderful time.
wow, have a wonderful time, and bless you all
Yeah.
coming tonight. And we'll see whoever we see next Thursday, right? Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Don't forget your fire hose.